Okay, once we have successfully created our subnets, the next thing that we have to do here is we have to enable auto assign IP addresses. The main reason why we have to enable this auto assign IP addresses is to help us so much that if we launch uh, any resource in the public subnet, AWS should be able to automatically associate an IP address. So this one we're going to do at the level of the public subnet. So if we come to our public subnet is one at the level of subnet ID here, we click it and we can move to action here. When we take action, go down to edit subnet settings, and once has been done, we come down to enable auto assign public IP address, and when we click this, we save the changes here. There you go. Now we can go again to the next public subnet, and the next one that we have here is public subnet easy2. So we click the subnet ID and we take action and do edit subnet settings, and at this level we can enable auto assign public IPv4. So once that has been done, we save this. Okay, we've successfully done this. Now once we have done this, the next thing that we have to do here is we have to create our route table. Remember, when you assign a name like a public subnet or a private subnet to any subnet, it doesn't actually make any of them public already or private. Simply, we have to go to the route table. For any public subnet, we have to associate it to a route table that has access to the internet, that can be able to route traffic to the internet. If we are able to do that, that's when we can consider a named public subnet and actually a public subnet. So what I'm saying is, when we come down here, we have route table. When we click route table, look at, we already have a route table here, ID name. This one like this is considered as, look at here, main route main. So this route table automatically is created once we start creating our VPC. So to make it easier, I can just say main route table. So just to make it easier for me. So now what we have to do here is, now we have to create a route table, and when you click create, we can call this our public, we call this our public route table. So once this has been created, now we have to associate this route table with our VPC, and if you click the drop down menu, you have my pro VPC, and we can go down and we create a route table. Good, this route table has been created. Now once the route table has been created, the next thing that we have to do is we go to the route table and we will be able to see if we can associate this route table with our subnet. So if we come down here, and you can see subnet association right here. If you open it, you discover that we haven't associated anything. All right, so for us to be able to associate all of this, what we simply do is we have to edit subnet association. So if we do edit subnet association, it's going to open this menu, and what we will do here is we will select those subnets that we consider public. For example, we have the public subnet easy1, and then we have another public subnet easy2. These are the two subnets that we want them to be able to get access to the internet, and and so we do associate this. Now once this has been associated, it doesn't actually mean that it's already having automatic access to the internet. Now let's go back to the route table first here. When you're at the level of the route table, say edit. Now when you look at edit route table, what you will see here is that the destination that it has here is still our local destination. This local destination is from our VPC, but we have to add a route here. The route that we have to add here is to give access to the internet. And in networking, once you associate a CIDR block 0.0.0.0.0/0, that is giving access to any other person over the world to have access to it. So that simply means that you are giving access to the internet. So if we say add route here, it will ask for our site, the destination. Let me call it destination, not okay. And our destination will be the internet. So we have 0.0.0.0/0, and here we will have to associate this. So if we come here, it's asking how do we want to which destination are we looking for, and what we are looking for is internet gateway. And if you click here, you see what we have here, internet gateway. And if we click down a little bit, remember that we created internet gateway at the level of our VPC and we associated it here. So if you click this one and we save the changes, there you go. You will see now that our route table now has internet gateway and it has been associated with our subnet, which automatically now gives access to the two subnets to be able to uh, route traffic to the internet. All right. So now when you look at here, we still have four other subnets that do not have internet gateway. And I'm going to explain to you how we'll handle these other four subnets. Route table. So if there is no private route table or a public route table, what happens is that these subnets will be associated to the main route table. Like if you come back again to the route tables here, you see the main route table. This main route table tells you that okay, it's automatic or is a default kind of a route table automatic from Amazon, which just means that the subnets will be able to handle traffic or route traffic just locally. So for us to be able to get this private route table, let me get back again here to look at those that have not been associated. This one, for us to have this private route table to go to the internet and get some update, it means that we will have to create a NAT gateway. I think I did create a NAT gateway. And once you create a NAT gateway, what happens is that resources from this subnet can get access to the internet and pull out resources or pull out updates from the internet. Meanwhile, resources from the internet or users from the internet cannot come here. So if we come down here to look for NAT gateway, this is a NAT gateway here. If we click here, we're going to like create a NAT gateway. I already created a public NAT gateway, and I could go further to show you how to create one. Say create NAT gateway. We could name it like, okay, for example, if I say I could call it again public NAT gateway 1, and then you will look at the subnet here. You have to associate it with a public subnet. Remember, NAT gateways are associated with the public subnet. So once you associate it, you can now allocate an IP, allocate an elastic IP address. So simply, once you do that, you can go further to say create. Now, for example, what will happen is that once you do that, it will be created like this one has been created here. So this one is considered as a NAT gateway that's already been created, and it has an elastic IP that has been associated, that has been allocated. Now, once that has been done, we can go back to our route table and we create another route table. This time around, we'll call it private route table. All right, private route table. And this private route table, once you create this, you can associate it with a VPC. So I'll use my Pro VPC. So once that has been done, we create the route table as simple as such. Once this route table has been created, now if we come to route table, you discover now that we have three route tables here: the main route table, the public route table and the private route table. And private route table here, look at here, explicit association. There is no subnet that has been associated here. So what we are going to do is we are going to associate subnets here. And let me show you one thing really quick. If you come to the VPC here and open to the VPC ID and scroll down, you can see that this VPC has these subnets that are connected and come this way. If you look at here, look at this one is a public subnet which connects to the route table and route traffic to the internet, right? And now if you come to the private, it connects here, but it doesn't connect itself to the NAT gateway. So we have to connect this to the NAT gateway to be able to have our resources to link to the NAT gateway. So if we come back to route table and open route here, what we are simply going to do is traffic is still locally routed. So we're going to do subnet association. And this time around, the subnets that have not been explicitly associated are these ones here. So if we do edit, here, we have to choose the subnet to associate to the route table, and we have to be careful to choose only the private subnet. So we have this app, we have this one, and we have this one and this one. Look very carefully and be sure that, those are the subnets. And once you've clicked them, we will now associate it straightforward to the private route table. And you have successfully associated the subnets. So good. So if we come now back to our VPC and open the VPC ID here and come down here, look at private route table. You see one thing, it's not yet going to the public NAT, public NAT gateway is still not. So what is the problem? So what you simply do again back is come back to route table, and if you open route here, now look at here, we have to edit this because it's just locally routing. You edit when you open this, say add route, and since we want this to go to the internet as well, so anything that is going to the internet uses 0.0.0.0/0. So we open here, and where are we opening the target? The target is NAT gateway. And so once you click NAT gateway, you choose the NAT gateway here. Once that has been done, we save the changes. Good. We have successfully associated this, linked the route table to the internet. So now let's go back again to our VPC. Once we come to the VPC here and open here, and let's go down and try to look at any private route table. Come a little bit, you see that it shows you that this private route table can come here private and is able to come right to the public NAT gateway and get access to the internet. So any private route table can go to the internet. All right, so that is what I wanted to show here for the NAT gateway, and I thank you and have a good time. See you. Bye bye.